In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to create another simple web page using HTML and CSS code. You've got an example on your screen right now of what the finished product is going to look like. As you can see, it's nothing too fancy, but you are going to be learning a few new tricks in HTML that you didn't learn in the previous tutorial. Namely, these numbered bullet points here, which is known as an ordered list. There's a few other little bits and pieces too, like making the text go into italics, and I'll show you another couple of tricks as we go on throughout the video. Okay, so to get started, first thing you need to do is set your folders up. So jump over to your account, and you should have a folder created already from the previous video tutorial. We're going to make another new one now called number 2 ordered lists. Remember to press that yellow folder at the top to make a new folder, or just right click, go to new and select folder. Once you've named it number 2 ordered lists, inside of there, make another new folder called images. And inside of that images folder, you'll need to get this picture here called groceries copied and pasted or saved into there. If you're in my class, I'll give you access to that picture. If you're watching on YouTube, then just get onto Google Images and find your own picture of groceries. Once you've got that folder structure all sorted, so number 2 ordered lists, images, and then the picture in there, you're ready to start coding. So first up, open up your HTML editor. I'm using brackets, and make yourself a new file. Okay, now before you start coding anything, it's good practice to just save it first of all. Again, you need to go back to that ordered lists folder you just created and open it up. And because this is our one and only page, we're going to call it index.html. Index is always used for the home page of web pages or websites, and .html just tells the computer we're making a web page or a HTML document. Click on save and you're ready to start coding. So the first line of code that we put in is the doc type, so it just tells the browser what type of document they've got here, and that is a HTML document. On the next line, we're going to start by opening up our HTML tags. And for something new, what I want you to write in next to that opening HTML tag is the words lang equals en. That is short for language equals English, and that is just saying that this web page is going to be written in the language English, which basically then talks to search engines so that they know what language your web page is written in. Okay, so we've set our language to English. The next thing we're going to do is tab across, so we're going to indent our next line of code and put in the head section. So remember, the head section just contains information about our web page that isn't actually displayed to the user. First thing I always put in is the title, and the title is going to say my shopping list. And then we're going to save that by pressing Ctrl S, and we're going to jump in for a preview of how our web page is looking so far. So all we should see at the moment is the name of our web page up here, the title, on that tab. That's it. Everything else should be blank. Alright, later on we will link up a style sheet, but for now we're not going to worry about that. We're just going to get the structure of our web page sorted, which is the HTML. So we're going to finish off the head section there and come down to the body section next. So open up I'll open up a body tag. Brackets will automatically put in the closing body tag. Make a bit of room between those two tags. And under the body tag, the first thing we're going to do is put in a H1 heading that says my shopping list. We save it and preview it. There it is there, my shopping list. That's our H1 heading that is now in there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to put in a H4 heading. So a relatively small heading, but it's still going to be bold, I think. And we'll say go to Woolies after school and pick up the following items. Okay, make sure you close your H4 tags off there. Now if we save that and have a look at it, we've now got a little H4 heading that says go to Woolies after school and pick up the following items. Now in that subheading, the H4 heading here, I want to turn that text into italics, which puts our writing on a little bit of a slant. And the way we do that in HTML is we use the EM tags. I think they stand for emotive or emotion or something like that. So what I'm going to get you to do is put the EM just before the go to, and then after items and the colon there, close off that EM section. Okay, so that's how that line should look. H4 tags to begin with, then EM for a bit of emotive text, and that should turn that whole line into italics. There we go. You can see that text is now sloped. Looking good. Next thing we're going to put in are the items we want to put on the shopping list, and we're going to use what we call an ordered list to do that. So we open up some tags called OL, which stands for ordered list. It means we're making a list of items in a particular order, and that's where numbered bullet points will come in. Think back to the previous video. We created a bunch of UL items, so unordered list items. Now we're doing ordered lists. Unordered lists are bullet points. Ordered lists are numbered bullet points. And remember, when we're putting these bullet points in, we need to make them a list item. So that's where the LI tag comes from. So we're going to add in bread on our list. And then we're going to add in milk. We'll also add in eggs. Put another list item and grab a steak. And then the final list item, my favorite, ice cream. And we're going to put a little message to say, don't forget this. Okay, let's have a look at how our shopping list is going now. There you go, you can see we've got our numbered bullet points now. That's that ordered list coming into play. Now this last one, ice cream, don't forget this. I feel like it doesn't stand out enough, so I'm going to put in some strong tags around it to make that text bold. So on either side of the writing, put in the strong tags, which should make that text bold. There we go, so that looks pretty good. We can close that ordered list off now, which is already done because that is finished. Next thing I'm going to do is put in a new paragraph and put in a hyperlink to the Woolworths website. So let's cheat a little bit here and search Woolies. Yep, give us the link up here. Now that link is way too big, so let's just copy the first part of it, the .com.au bit. Okay, so we're going to say, I might put the link in first, so let's do ahref equals, and then in quotation marks just paste in the Woolies website address. And then close off your pointy brackets, and I'm going to right click here. And that's what's going to turn in to the hyperlink that will take me to Woolies. So if I just save that for a second, go and refresh my page, you can see you've got click here, and when I click here, it takes me to the Woolworths website. Okay, so we're going to right click here, and then outside of that closing A tag, click here to go to the Woolworths website. And now when we save it, we should have click here as the hyperlink, and then to go to the Woolworths website, just the rest of the sentence. Okay, we can't click on any of that, but we can click on that first part to take us to the Woolies website. Alright, that's looking good. One thing we can actually add into this hyperlink is an option, well not an option, basically an instruction to open that link in a new tab. So instead of losing this page, what we're going to do is click on it, and then a new tab will appear at the top, which takes us to Woolies, and that way we don't lose our shopping list page. So the way we do it is we go back inside this opening A section, and after we've got that link written in, we write the word target equals. And you've got a few options there that you can choose. The one that you'll use most often is blank, or underscore blank. So just click on that. And by writing target equals underscore blank, that will make a new blank tab for the Woolworths website to open in. So if I refresh this now and click on this link, watch my tabs at the top. There we go. So the Woolies website opened in a new tab, but I've also got my shopping list still open in the original tab. Okay, so that's a really handy one to know. If you want to open a hyperlink in a new tab or a new page there, underscore blank is the word you're looking for. To finish off with, we might put in an image of some groceries. So let's put in a new paragraph, and thinking back to the previous video, the way we put images in is with the image tag. We also write the word source, or the shortened version of it, src equals, click on the images folder, click on the groceries picture, close off your pointy brackets. Okay, now that will put in a picture of some groceries. So let's save that, pressing Ctrl S, and have a look. I better zoom back a bit here. So that's looking pretty good, but our picture is very big, quite large. We need to resize it. Otherwise it looks a bit out of place there. So back inside this image tag, after we put the image in, let's put the width, and I'm going to set it equal to 554. And after that, I'm going to set the height to 301. And I'll give that a save by pressing Ctrl S and run that. And you can see that it looks a lot nicer now in the web browser. Now, one other thing we forgot to put in here in this image tag is the alternate text. You might remember from our previous video, it's good practice to put in some text that just describes what's happening in the picture. So I'll just write in quotation marks, photo of some groceries. And the reason we put that in is because if this picture doesn't load properly in the website, then that text will appear in its place. And it's also good for people with sight issues or visual issues and they can't see the picture too well. The computer can read out that alternate text and tell them what is actually happening in that picture. So if we save that and refresh it, nothing will change. But if I hover over that picture, is it going to do it? No, it's not going to do it. I thought if I hovered over it, it might make that alternate text display, but it's not. That's okay. Alright, so we've got our picture in. It's good size. The body's pretty much all done there now, so happy days. That is our HTML section all finished off. I'll come back in the next video and do the CSS part just to make this page look a little bit nicer. So I'll see you in a moment.